Now this is the looking when it dries. You see that it has a lot of stains in all parts, and this is what we want, because now second step is covering all this with normal glazes of an reddish tone of the leather. So let's create it. With this one, flat brown. With a bit of red. Okay, and we give thin glazes with glaze medium to all the surface to create a thin layer to stain a bit all that shapes. You go through all parts till they are integrated. Look at the difference now. You see? Let's dry this. And continue with the highlights and the shadows. Look at this, Andrew. It's more integrated now. You see it? You can still see the stains we created, but they are more integrated with the red. So, next part for me would be create the and by the way, this strange shape, this strange stain he created here, for me is perfect to represent leather, because leather has these strange shapes. So second or third or fourth step, I don't know, is to do the shapes, the shadow, the shape of the shadow. So we mix black with that brown we created, and this is with, you see the dissolution here. Well, normal glazes, remember, don't paint with this loaded brush, dry it in the paper to have more control, and now you can start painting the shapes. Remember, the fabrics, the clothes are cylinders, so you have to interpret it like that, like they were cylinders. So painting, you see, in the sides, not in this upper part, only in the side. And we use more black in this down part of the figure. You see here, in creating lines. Okay, you can mix between normal brush strokes and pointing. You see? Here as well. Trying to be not so aggressive with the black, because we don't want to cover all the work we did. Just a bit. And see, and we go, the more below we go, the more dark we use, the more dark colors we use. This is a thing I learned from Boris Vallejo and Fran Facetta, and all the great illustrations. They always desaturate the figures by going down, by going below. So we do the same because the sun don't arrive in that part so easily, and in these upper parts it's quite simple. By the way, you can, this is my approach with this figure, like giving this leather a really old looking. By the way, you can create the stains you want. You can cover all the stains you want, because maybe this is too much from someone. So the solution would be don't create so much stains. Okay, just create less and less. And the way, if you create this and you don't like this looking now, the way to solution is giving another glaze with this brownish reddish color we created to unify another one. The more glazes of unifying that are washes, the more washes you give to unify, the more obviously unify is the figure, and it loses all this big contrast between stains. But in my case, I love it like that. I love to see the brush stroke. With pure black, you go inside these tiny wrinkles here, this, and this, representing that part that's below. Remember the Boris Vallejo thing. Okay, yeah, a bit more. And the same thing we did here, we can do in this part below the hair, because that part is in dark. The proper hair of the figure projects a shadow here, so has to be more dark than the other parts. So we have here the shadows placed. Okay, you can control this much more, you can do it better, but have this placed. Okay, next part for me would be get the yellow khaki tone and give thin glazes. You see the solution here, like this, thin glazes over the lights, over this part. Now, you see I'm barely covering the surface. Okay, this part as well, most exposed wrinkles. Remember, we don't go below here because this part is more a shadow part. And we also go into this part. By the way, you can also let it like that, because it has a really good color. But I'm a testing man. I'm a scientist. I like to test all the ideas I have in my mind and know if it fits well. an idea was to illuminate this a bit more. Yeah, I like it. You see, maybe this part is too light, so the solution here, well, the camera is getting much light. Let me cut and cut again. Hi Andrew, this is the second part of the class. You told me to do this hat thing. I don't know the word in English. In Spanish is turbante, and this leather in an hour. So let's first do the leather. We will use again the glaze medium. This is perfect for doing the shapes of a leather. So we substitute this. We substitute water. We use this instead of water. The idea is use a mix of brownish, reddish, and clear colors like this red leather to create shapes and to paint in a wet palette, in a wet blending thing. You know it, how to do it. So let's start. The colors are not so important here, just the shapes you do. So first we mix a bit of red leather with the glaze, and you do this as a normal normal layer, but you see it's a bit more transparent than normal. That's because we are now giving shadows and light. This we do this, and the glaze medium provides us more time to work, to do the wet blending over the figure. So we have this. If you need, this is too thick, you see, if you need to get out the paint, just get the glaze medium and you spread out all the paint on all the parts. Here, same. So second part, get a clear coral. This is yellow khaki and a bit of glaze medium, and place it there. The lights, you see, they join in a pointy way. They join and mix in a strange way. If this part is more integrated than this one, so get more red leather and place it in the cut. You see how they look at this dot. This one. Look how it spreads. It's really interesting how the paint reacts with this wet blending technique and with this glaze medium. You can do the same with clear colors, but they have to be really watered. So let's do it. This, right? The color goes in all parts. Here as well. You see this part? It's totally different. Now let's do it with white, with a bit of white, to add at the saturated tone here. It will mix together. You can move all the paint. And here, let's give a bit of green and blue. See the reaction. This is much fun than doing normal blending, as you see. Okay. To green, get more brown and place it over it, and by pointing you do the mix. You see how they change? If you lose the green, get again the green and point in a smaller area. Okay, let's get a bit more of yellow khaki and do pointy things here. And here. You see the strange shape it creates? Really interesting. Then we can stain all these shapes and give the color we want. Let's do it here. Okay. Always remember to experiment a lot. And let's get black, watered black with glaze medium, and do the same. Let drops here and there to see how it reacts with other colors. And you create a pattern here. Let's get red and do the same and see how it goes. Really careful because the red stains a lot, and this maybe would be like stains of the battle or something like that. Join it really well, and when you have it, when you know it's done and you don't want to give more stains, let's give here a bit in shadows. When you have it done, you get the dryer, hair dryer, normal hair dryer, and we look at here the stain. We dry this. Interesting thing about glaze medium is that if you don't dry it with a dryer, it will get really really shiny. Perfect for leather, but not so perfect for other surface. So if you want it shiny, just let it dry like that. And if you want it for other surface like faces, faces also are shiny, but like other type of fabrics, give it dry it with a dryer. Okay, it's quite ugly now, I know. The shapes are really beautiful, but the color is the problem. Okay, now we will stain. So let it dry and we'll continue. Now you can see a better light. No, it's the same. Okay, in live this is much reddish than in camera. So if you want to change the tone, in my case I want to change a bit the tone. I want to give a wash of brown. So you get the brown and you give normal wash over the work. You see, with one brush, one wash, you can point to add diversity to the stains. Okay, better. Let's try this. Okay, and this is the result. See all the stains. Other thing I like to do is get the green again as a glaze or a wash. You see here the dissolution is here. This stains little. you have to control this because the green stains a lot. So you place it in that below that leather, okay, to add another tone. Interesting thing for the viewer. If you get too strong with this, get water and you spread it out. Get in your mind that adding tones to the figure is really important. Okay, we have this. Let's go for the hat type of thing. For el turbante in Spanish. What color do you use? What color do you want to use? Let's correct this a bit more. Giving shadows a bit. You can work a lot more these shadows and light, but to do a general work for this is quite good. So you see that when the green dries and when all color dries, it desaturates a lot, because when you place it, it's with water, and the water provides a more saturation, more alive looking to the color. So maybe you want to add another layer of that green. Okay, when we have this, let's go for the hat. Let me think a color. Okay, let's use this Japan uniform. This is green with yellow and with white. It's perfect, and we will do like a freehand, maybe a freehand, a pattern. So first we place the base layer. Remember to water a bit this, and we place it normally. Let me jump for you this step because you know how to do it. Okay, Andrew, you have this, the base layer done. When it's dry, when it's wet, you can again use this in your favor and begin to place the shadows. Remember, this is a cylinder and you have to place shadows in that right part, the sides of the cylinder. By the way, I'm using pure black now, or in this case the real would be that's not pure black, because while this yellow is drying, they mix together, and you do this. Okay, you go a bit inside shadows, get more black for these parts, and for this. The main idea here with this wet blending technique, by the way, this is only with water, for you to know that you can do it with water as well. The main idea is to speed a lot your work, to do it more quicker. So you get again the yellow and you do the lights, and you go a bit in the shadows to do the mix again. Here as well. You see, you do lines, the wrinkles, and this is much fun than doing normal glazes, as you see. And talking about the leather, it's quite interesting to see the results of our type of chaotic paint, because we didn't know that these shapes here will create it like that. We didn't know it. We discovered it while we were painting, and that's the beauty about painting, because it's an alive process, you know. So to give lights for this while it's wet, we get this yellow khaki again, and we place thin lines in the most exposed part in the center of the cylinder. You see? I did one thing wrong. I will tell you now. Let's see if you can see it. That one thing wrong was going too inside the yellow. That's the mid-tone here. You see here this shape? This shape is incorrect, the colors, because the light is near the shadow. You have to create here a mid-tone with that yellow. So you get the yellow and you create again that mid-tone. You see now it's much better. So we'll let dry this and we continue. Result. Okay, it's quite ugly, it's quite dirty. Now it's time to correct these dirty shapes. So this is a detail work. Now we have to go in the shadows and do it with thin lines, like this. You see, all that wrinkles that are in shadows. Remember, the dissolution of the paint to do this has to be quite thick, like this. What? See? No, like this. For don't losing control. And you go before in the side. The wet blending. Now, the wet blending is perfect because you create not a yellow tone, not a black tone, but a mix of these two tones. And when you place that black shadow, you achieve a shadow, another tone of shadow immediately. Understand me? This is too much shadow. By the way, if this happened to you, this part, you get again the yellow, and you do the mix there, get black. Try to achieve a clean clean looking. Cover this, remember the face? With a wash, you cover the wrinkle and continue with black. In this front part of the face, we don't use black because it's too strong. You have to use another color for the wrinkle. Let's go. By the way, if black is too aggressive color for you, you can replace it with brown, black, something like that. I love black because I'm more a fantasy painter and it's more dramatic. Shadows are more dramatic than with a smooth color. Remember another important thing is the shape of all the wrinkles. The shape wouldn't be correct. You have to do it end in point. See here? Pointy thing. Start and end like that. Here as well. Here we have to use more dark shadows. Why? Because in the face, remember, the lights, more strong lights come from this direction. So this will be more in shadow. Okay, you know how to do this. Blah blah. Okay, let's go for the wrinkles that are in light. This is light is too much, too heavy. Okay. For the wrinkles that are in light, get that Japanese uniform with yellow khaki, more yellow khaki. Yellow khaki in English is not in Spanish, it's buff. What a strange thing, by the way. So mix it a bit and come to do that wrinkles in light. Only in the center of the hat thing here. Well, and up here, remember the cylinder thing. And remember the shapes. Here as well. Okay. Now, if you want to achieve more, if you want to give you a challenge, we can do here a line pattern, a line freehand. This is a headache. This is a really difficult idea, but I think you will like the result if we do it really well. So let's do the line pattern, because you have a lot more of time to spend in the class. So the line pattern will be like this, and we can use, I think I didn't told you about complementary colors, but it's quite easy. The complementary color of the yellow is purple, red is green, and orange is blue. So if you don't know the color to use, you can use this theory color. Theory color tells you that these two complementary colors fits really well in the eye. They contrast really well. I'm a bit against this theory color because I'm more a guy like I want to use the color I feel inside, not the ones a rule tells me. But in this case, I feel like a brownish type purple of color will fit really well. So let's do it. The really difficult thing here is look at the color. It's not purple, it's brownish purple. Okay, the really difficult thing here is to do the same what's the size of the lines in all lines. This is a nightmare, but we will try. And by the way, you have to consider that this hat has what's the word in English? The material, I don't know. The material is quite not straight. It's not straight. It's like this and like this and like this. So you have to paint the lines in that shape. Let's try. Because of the angles of all the wrinkles, it's really difficult to do this in a correct way. But man, the thing here is to do it the best way you can, right? So let's do it. Okay, that's one line. You see, here as well. The thing I was telling you is that this part doesn't have the angle of this line. This part has this angle. Because the wrinkle is totally different. Understand me? Okay, well, let's continue doing this. If you get wrong, the way to solution it is with the obviously with the base color, that yellow color. Here you have to curve a bit the line because of the wrinkle, and then we have to place shadow of that purplish brown color we are using. That now I'm looking better is more purple than brown. So I will speed this. I will do it. Okay, I will do it, and then I will record again. Okay, the thing I want you to tell you is this, the shape. Really important, the shape. Let's do the lines a bit separately. For example, here, another line. And they have to be really parallel with each other. That's another difficult thing. Okay, I will record it when I have finished this. Well, after a while, Andrew, you have this. I barely could do it perfect without correcting anything, but you see the intention, right? You have to pay attention to the wrinkles of the fabrics and paint the lines, the fabric, in that shape, in that angle. So another important thing would be add a bit of shadows to this purple. By the way, I know it's purple, not brown. In the end, I paint it in purple. But first, I will challenge you again a bit to add in the middle of the lines a little line with this yellowish color, with the Japanese uniform. So I will do this. Look. You see? I will do this because it will be better, it will be beautiful to see another line inside the other one. Again, time, patient. Remember that the solution of the paint has to be quite thick, and do it carefully. Okay? I think the result, that's worth it. See you. Here you are. You see the result is much better than only the normal purple lines. But we have to correct some lines. So you get the purple and go a bit and do thinner the lines, the yellow lines, and correct the mistakes. The important thing about freehand is that it's really difficult to give shadows and give lights to the freehand, because they are so much tiny shapes that it's really difficult. So for me, like this would be nearly done. Okay, maybe here inside you get buff, and inside here, you see, illuminate that buff that inside, and the same with the most exposed part. Okay, here as well, here as well, but only a little, because remember that tiny shapes is quite difficult. Here as well. You see, they are a bit more illuminated now. So that's it. Okay. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any question, I think that you have like half an hour now. Let's use this half an hour if you want for questions. Mm, Send me back your picks. I will correct them, etc. And see you in the next class. And for the others of YouTube, ask me any question what you want. Bye.